How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Maybe you were wishing you couldn't hear me. No sound still? Okay, now you can hear. I'm gonna trust Maui girl. All right. So I forgot a few things. I'm kind of rusty because I used to be in the swing of all this, and then I got out of it for a while to take a break, and I just got off the road from working away from home all week. So I'm really glad to be back at my home pad because I really could not um, figure it out on the road to get a live going. First of all, I didn't have Wi-Fi worth a darn. So yeah, I hope that fan's not making a bunch of noise. If it is, tell me and I'll turn it off. But it was hot, so I had to turn it back on. So anyway, all right. I like I said, I was on the road working, and I had Rusty Dusty. That's funny. I see you guys' comments. Y'all are okay. All right, y'all are funny. Anyway, so when I was out on the road, I had a lot of time to listen to different things and watch different things while I was in the hotel room, all that stuff. So yeah. Oh, I'm gonna look at these for a minute because you guys are distracting me with them, which is a good thing. So I want to address a couple of them. And you know what's funny about you saying this, Janie? I don't know how to say it when you got that little thing on there, but hopefully I'm saying one of those was right. But anyway, I was watching one of my first videos and I had I was so nervous. I put the microphone and everything. I had a screen and I had it all over my face and I was like, I was shy and I didn't want to Jamae. All right. Jamae. All right. Cool. Anyway, I was really shy and I was had stage fright and all that stuff. I never intended on being in front of the camera. It kind of became a necessity when Tyson and I were working together because Janae, okay, I got you. Yeah, it kind of became a necessity when Tyson got COVID and we didn't want to lose our momentum. So either I was doing it by myself or Chappie was with me, but it got me out of my comfort zone. And then I kind of just thought, well, this ain't too bad. I can just ramble on if I need to. But I'm going to talk about a few things today that I haven't. Some of them I haven't talked about in a while. Some of them I'm kind of hesitant to talk about one of them because I don't want people to think that I'm doing something that other people have done in the past. But I'm going to talk about another YouTuber, and I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to pile on when somebody's down or anything like that. I want to talk about it because there's just a lot of history that goes along with this certain person, and yeah, Chris, you guessed it. So anyway, let me give you a little bit of background on Chris McDonough, and I'm not like I don't have. Thank you for the comments. I like my shirt too. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. Anyway, Chris McDonough. The first time I heard of Chris McDonough, he was on Profiling Evil with Mike King. And the thing, I thought they were going to be like a staple, you know, like they were going to stay together for a long time. And then they reached out to us and invited Tyson on to talk about him meeting Barry. So, yeah, that we all got together, had a meeting about it. And the plan was to help each other, help our channels grow each other. They were just starting out. We were a little bit ahead of them at that time, and they were just starting out. So, yeah, so we helped them. And we had meetings about how we were going to do all that. We're going to kind of be like a team or something. Not really a team, but, you know, you scratch our back and we'll scratch yours. Well, that kind of changed after a while. I'm not as trusting as some people are, and so I kind of like stay at a distance a lot of the time before I really get to know people. So I remember one time, well, a few times where Tyson was talking to Chris, and Chris started like, you know, trying to telling Tyson to do certain things, and then Tyson would come to me, and we would talk about them, and I wouldn't agree with them. And like I said, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just telling facts here. And so when we didn't do some of that stuff, all of a sudden Tyson was being told that he should put me in the back and just Tyson be on camera. So yeah, I didn't take really. I mean, it didn't. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I don't really get offended by people like that. And if he has his opinion about something, that don't mean we have to do it. So anyway, we didn't take that advice. And to be totally honest with you, one of the major reasons that me and Tyson aren't together doing this right now has a little bit to do with Chris. And it's not. I'm not blaming him at all, because me and Tyson had to make that decision to go our separate ways. But Tyson was really offended by some of the stuff that he did, and I tried to talk to him about just focusing on other stuff, and you know, so we had different opinions on that. We both were at the point where we're like, okay, let's just go do our own thing, you know, like I mean, as a team, let's just go do our own thing and not worry about it. But when something gets stuck in your craw, sometimes it's hard to forget about that. So let's fast forward to recently. Okay, I wasn't watching his show. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw a couple of clips when he was talking to like Candace Wells and a couple other things he did. One thing that I saw was when he was on It's a Crime with Linda, and I didn't like that. I mean, he was talking about other people, and he was like talking about other YouTubers and going off about certain people and pretty much saying, oh, I don't know who they are, using the wrong initials when he knew for a fact what the initials were, I'm sure. But anyway, so recently he gets okay. Let me tell you about Chris that I know about Chris. He gets worked up, and I think that's one reason that him and Mike didn't work it out to where he stayed on Profile and Evil, because he would get all worked up. Mike's kind of a calm guy and, more straight laced. If there was a good cop, bad cop situation, Mike would be the good cop every time. Let's just put it that way. And Chris would be the other one. So that's the only way I remember. So anyway, I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden I see something that says, Chris, the interview room got terminated off of YouTube. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, what did he do? Because you don't just get terminated. There's a 3-strike thing. There's all kinds of other stuff. But anyway, come to find out, he was going after some guy that he thought was Brian Laundrie on Twitter, and saying that he knows for a fact that this guy was Brian Laundrie and all this other stuff. So he got reported. Okay, that's fine. I mean, but when you get reported, YouTube, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, I'm not a snitch or anything, but I reported some people before because of their attacks they did on me, and they said there was nothing wrong with it. So, and it was pretty much on the borderline of death threats. So, but I don't know what he was doing. I heard rumors, and I don't like to speak on those, but what I hear is he went after this guy, and this guy tried to say he wasn't Brian Laundrie, and then all of a sudden he's gone. So I wanted to figure out what was going on. So I go and I'm searching for anything, and I get to this channel, and this channel seems pretty cool. It's a girl named Tina Marie. I don't know who she is, but she's got 15,000 followers, and she's well-spoken, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's the wrong initials I was talking about. He was saying AB or something. Yeah, Nordic. Yeah, Nomadic Trek. Yep, that's who the guy was on Twitter. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I went looking for stuff, found Tina Marie, and she's doing an interview with Chris, and this was just a few days ago after he got terminated. And I thought Chris would. This is what I expected to see. Oh yeah, sorry, I said Tina Marie. It is Tiffany Marie. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be Chris and tell you the wrong name or whatever. But anyway, yeah, she seems pretty. I might start watching her stuff because she seems pretty cool. Anyway, so I get on there and I'm thinking, well, Chris, you got to be humbled a little bit, like you get your channel totally terminated. But he wasn't. He was blaming everyone. No responsibility whatsoever was taken. And I've had troubles in my life when I'm in a bad place and I'm not taking responsibility. And some of it hasn't been that long ago. Whenever I make mistakes, and the normal knee-jerk reaction is to not take responsibility. But I want to try to take some responsibility for my mistakes. That's what I try to do anyway. Sometimes I don't, and I end up doing it eventually, but I try to do it whenever I make a mistake. So anyway, having said that, he was saying there was some coordinated attack on his channel, and this guy started it, and he said the word go, and he committed federal crimes. And he was just going on, and I was like, what the heck? So I got to thinking about that, and I was thinking about karma and stuff like that, because there's a lot of stuff that I've just kept to myself that got to me a little bit, that I've kept to myself. And one of the only reasons I'm bringing this up is because I mentioned I was writing a book, and part of what I'm writing about in this book is this kind of crap that goes on behind the scenes that most people don't even see. The little things that people are, the backbiting and talking behind somebody's back and doing all that other stuff. And then you hear rumors from this person, or you get something from this person, or they'll say something on their channel, a little passive aggressive dig and all this stuff. And you guys can't hear me now? Oh, somebody said they couldn't hear me. So anyway, so he started saying stuff about that. And this is what I think needs to happen if he wants to get a channel back, or if he wants to start a new channel, be successful, or whatever, is he needs to humble himself a little bit. I have seen him be a little bit cocky, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. And one of the reasons why I say that is because he sounded a little bit like Barry Morphew in that interview. And I'm not trying to insult the guy, but he did. He started saying stuff like, well, all these guys that are doing this to me or have a record and they're felons and all this stuff. And it sounded just like when Barry Morphew said, well, they're all meth heads and this and that. Okay, just because people make mistakes in their life and they have things that they've done wrong, you don't just throw them under the bus and say that, you know, oh, they're coming after a law enforcement officer. I mean, your nose ain't totally clean, brother. I mean, I've seen some stuff out there when you were a law enforcement officer, and I'm not trying to drag you through the mud. I'm just saying, just quit being so judgmental, man. That's all. And I've written him emails about things that went on in the past and all that, and he responds, and I mean, we don't have any problems. I'm just saying, man, it's kind of offensive when people start, you know, saying, well, this guy did this because they're have a record or felon. People can change, man. He ain't in jail right now, and you went after him. He didn't come after you. So anyway, I'm going to move on because I don't want to just to turn into a bashing session, but there's been a lot of stuff that has been said, and I've bit my tongue, and I didn't want to say much, but so anyway, it's just my 2 cents. I'm not trying to draw a line in the sand saying, oh, I don't like Chris or nothing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, man, just a little humility goes a long ways. So, yeah. And this, and Leah knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is that first video is what started the whole end of the Draper Brothers. Not that it was his fault, but yeah, I don't think Chris drinks or anything like that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from him. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not trying to bash him, but you know, I've seen a couple things that I didn't agree with. So anyway, let me say one more thing, because this keeps jumping into my head. I wonder why Chris hasn't been on Profiling Evil since this happened to talk about it. Just something to think about. All right. So last night I was in the hotel room, and I don't hardly ever watch TV. We don't have cable. We don't have satellite. We do have like a Amazon Fire Stick to where we can watch a few things if we want to or whatever. But so I was just flipping through the channels because I'm curious what's on TV nowadays, because we don't ever watch it. But I get to headline news, and there's the Down the Hill podcast about the Delphi murders. And so, of course, I'm stopping on that, and I'm just getting way into it because I've seen bits and pieces of that and clips of it. But yeah. Yeah, and sorry, I just want to say, yeah, I mean, I don't want you guys to think you got to choose between me and him or anything like that. I'm not even saying I'm doing anything against him. I'm just giving a little piece of advice, you know, like humility goes a long ways. That's all I'm saying. So, like I said, I'm moving on. So Delphi. So I'm watching it last night, and they're talking a lot about different stuff. First of all, I couldn't believe how different Tobe Lesenby looked. He lost some weight and he grew a beard. And that was weird to me. I don't know. I've just got used to seeing him a certain way. And plus, I've been listening while I'm on the road. I've been listening. I mentioned this before, listening to John Douglas's book, Mindhunter. And a lot of stuff jumps out at me from some of these cases, and I wanted to touch on a couple of those points. First of all, one of the things that John Douglas talks about is how when he profiles somebody, some of these people go and change their appearance. And there was one guy that I was looking into for Delphi that as soon as the stuff happened, he went and grew a beard, a really long beard. And so I was like, man, that's weird. Just right after that happened, he grew this long beard. So anyway, when that was going on, when I was listening to Mindhunter and he said that, I was like, man, my ears perked up and I was like, that's cool. So another thing that that really piqued my interest was when John Douglas starts talking about MO versus signatures, because if you remember, and you might not have heard this, but I heard it back in whenever it was, a few months ago, maybe even years ago now. Former DA of Carroll County in Indiana, Robert Ives, came out and said there was 3 signatures left at the Delphi crime scene. And so I always wondered, what is he talking about, signatures? So when John Douglas started talking about signatures versus MO, that piqued my interest. So let me tell you what the difference between, you hear MO all the time in crime movies or some of these cases, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought it meant motive, but it's modus operandi is what it means. And modus operandi, I'm going to read, this is something that John Douglas said. Modus operandi, or MO, refers to how killers carry out their crimes. It's learned behavior and can change as perpetrators gain more experience. In Franklin's case, he was a bank robber, a bomber, and an assassin who used different weapons. I don't know who Franklin is. Oh, he talks about it up here. So I'll go back and read this in a minute so you know who Franklin is. And then as far as signatures go, those are different than modus operandi. So what we got here is it says it's a learned behavior. And he said that as killers go along, they're not going to do it perfect the first time, so they're going to evolve. They're going to do things different. They're going to learn this behavior until hopefully they'll get caught before they do all that. But yeah, anyway. So a killer's signature is a more commonly known term to describe a ritual repeated by a killer. It could be like when he was talking about, well, let me just read this so you guys know who this Douglas is. Who this Franklin is. Okay, so what he's talking about in this article that I'm reading from, it says, here are 5 terms or techniques Douglas used while working at the FBI. And number 1 was stepping into the victim's shoes. Although the focus for investigators is often solely on perpetrators, Douglas wanted to put himself into the mindset of a victim. This helped him and investigators personalize the case, give them more motivation to seek justice, and get a better understanding of the type of offender they were after. So he says, for a case like Franklin, who's this Franklin they're talking about? Did I miss something here? Oh, sorry, I got to go. I even had to scroll higher up, so sorry about that. Okay. Okay, let me start here. One challenging case Douglas helped analyze dealt with serial killer Joseph Paul Franklin. Douglas was tasked with creating a profile to help catch Franklin, who was suspected of targeting Black and Jewish people in the late 1970s. This was a racist serial killer, Douglas told Oxygen.com in a Skype interview. He was just so mobile. No one knew where he was, in the country. So this was like Mission Impossible for me. Douglas details the manhunt and Franklin's trial in his new book, Killer's Shadow, the FBI's hunt for a white supremacist serial killer. Okay, and that's why he's talking about this guy. He says, for a case like Franklin's, viewing crimes from the victim's perspective and finding a dynamic proved difficult. since the killer used a distanced blitz style of attack, Douglas said. Anyone could be a victim with Franklin, Douglas said. He was an opportunist. He was always looking for the potential. If he saw a couple, now was the time and he would target them. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to signatures now. It says a killer's signature is more likely known term to describe a ritual repeated by a killer. Franklin's signature was killing black people, Jewish people, or biracial couples, according to Douglas. All right. So I remember when there was another article, or when he was talking about signatures, there was one where he was talking about Ed, what's his name? Gosh, man, why do I always forget that guy's name? He's like 10 foot tall. Man. Anyway, I don't remember his name. That's crazy that I can't remember that guy's name. But anyway, it's that guy. Here he is. Ed Kemper. Sorry. Ed Kemper. So he was saying that guy, he had mommy issues. His mom was really mean to him. So he would try to humiliate his victims after they were dead by doing things sexually with their corpses, which is crazy. But that was his signature. So, yeah, I don't understand that. But anyway, so going back to the Delphi case, there's a lot of rumors out there that some people say they know what the signatures were. Another signature can be posing the bodies after death. I do believe that I heard that the girls in the Delphi case were posed in a certain way. There's other signatures where people cover part of the body, sometimes maybe because they're ashamed of what they did or whatever, and they don't want to see what they did. But anyway, yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. There was a lot of people on that podcast that I watched last night talking about this case. Kelsey, Anna Williams, who's Abby's mother, Abby or Libby's mom. I can't remember her first name or her name, but her grandma and grandpa. Abby's grandma and grandpa, who I'd seen her grandpa before. I'd never seen her grandmother, but man, when they started talking about that case again, I mean, I was like, man, why don't they know who did this? I mean, they have video of the person. They have the person's voice. They've got enough of a picture, but then when you look at it, it's so pixelated and it's so low quality that it could be anyone. That's one of the quotes they had. It can be anyone or no one. That's what they said on there last night. And even Abby's mom said, what guy that lives in the Midwest doesn't have work boots, jeans, a blue jacket? I mean, she's right. I mean, even here in Kentucky, I mean, the guy might as well have camouflage on, just like that's what everybody wears around here. So I still have their stuff up here. I don't know if you can see it. Still got that poster. Think about them all the time. Me and Tyson went up there. What'd I do? There we go. Me and Tyson went up there September of 2020. I'd like to go back up there. I've been communicating with Kelsey a little bit. I saw that she was posting on Twitter that she was trying to give a country star a shirt about Abby and Libby when she was at a concert. And I told her, if you send me some of that stuff, I said, I know some publicists and some people in Nashville that I could get that stuff to whoever you want me to. And she said that'd be cool, and she'd try to get me some stuff, but I might have to remind her. Yes, I did see that guy. Actually, he reached out to me. Yeah. He thinks it's his dad and his son. I guess his son lives with his dad or something. He might just be mad that his son's not with him. He's with his dad instead. So I mess that all up whenever I'm still sitting on my ball. I can't sit in the chair. My hips get all weird. I'm getting old. Yeah, I saw him on Twitter. That's true. All right. So anyway, there's besides MO and signatures, there's also calling cards. I don't know if that's the same thing as a signature or whatever, but yeah, there's also that kind of stuff. I also remember hearing a rumor that there's a fly in here. I hate flies. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, I remember seeing someone said that there was stuffed animals left at the crime scene. One other thing that really stood out to me from that podcast last night was how it was hard for them to collect DNA because when people were searching, they were urinating places, as they were searching, spitting, doing different things like that. So they're just spreading their DNA all over the place. So, little Leah. Okay. I was thinking about this exact thing today whenever I was driving home. And I think so too, because of something John Douglas said. He said, man, I can't remember word for word what he said, but I'm going to try my best to remember. He said that what are the odds that the odds of a case being linked with similar things like that are astronomical when you think of how similar these things are. He wasn't talking about this case, but just think about this. Two girls. When do you ever hear of two girls being murdered besides these two cases? Two young girls near water. I did three and then two. So two young girls near water, both killed. I don't know. We don't know how Abby and Libby were killed besides rumors. So I don't want to say, but I don't remember as much about the Evansdale case as I do the Delphi case, but I do know that there's a ton of similarities, and if you think about it, they're not that far apart. Those places, I mean, it would be easy for a guy to go to both places and do these things. It's just there's too many coincidences, in my opinion, and I agree with you, little Lee. I think that I don't know. I just think that there's a connection. I'm gonna look something up real quick while I'm here because I want to see how. Okay, so there's a thing here. It says, let me click on this and maybe I can read it to you. Delphi murders possibly linked to identical case in Iowa? ? This could be a serial killer. Yeah. So whoever wrote this back in March of this year is going down the same road. Her name it's a girl named Rivi Lyon. Let me just read a little bit of it since we got all the time in the world. Sorry, I was bunched up. All right, here's how it starts. He's killed before. He is likely to do it again. Maybe he already has. The Delphi, Indiana murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German are mentioned throughout the news almost daily. The month of February is the anniversary of their senseless. Sorry, I got distracted by that fly. Senseless killings. The public is awestruck by the reality that two best friends, so innocent and free, could suddenly have their childhoods ripped out from under them. Two beautiful bright lights snuffed out in one brief instance. Frustration mounts as short clips of the killer's image and voice are repeatedly displayed on our cell phones, our social media, and our local news broadcasts. Ugh. Yet, with all the publicity, he somehow remains anonymous. Someone out there has to know who he is. In the back of our minds, we wonder, has he done this before? It's definitely possible. The similarities between the Delphi case and the unsolved kidnapping and murder of Elizabeth Collins and Lyric Cook are convincing. It's all it's an all too familiar story. Two young girls out on their own in a remote area go missing without a trace and are later found dead. There are only 400 miles between Evansdale, Iowa, where Cook and Collins lived, to Delphi, Indiana. Serial killers have been known to travel farther distances to commit their crimes. I need a drink. I.e., Ted Bundy. Could the Delphi suspect, also known as Bridge Guy, have struck first in Iowa? Yeah. The Evansdale murders. On Friday, July 13th, 2012, 8-year-old Elizabeth June Marie Collins and her 10-year-old cousin, Lyric Ray Lynn Cook, disappeared while on a bike ride in Evansdale, Iowa. When they didn't return from their ride, they were reported missing to the Evansdale Police Department. The girls were spotted by a witness between 12:30 p.m. and 1 p.m. on Gilbert Drive, not far from local Myers Lake. Elizabeth's purse and both bikes were found on the trail in the southeast corner of Myers Lake around 4 p.m. that afternoon. Unfortunately, this was the only evidence found. Law enforcement and hundreds of volunteers showed up to search, and the lake was even partially drained. When the FBI got involved, they sent trained divers to comb through the lake near where the girls' bikes had been found. Ground searches were also conducted around the trails with no success. In the days following their disappearance, security footage was obtained from an auction house that was located a short distance away from their grandmother's home. This footage briefly shows the cousins riding by, but surprisingly, they were riding away from Myers Lake at around 12:11 p.m. Authorities announced that they had 3 separate witness reports seeing a white older model SUV type vehicle similar to a Chevy Suburban or a Ford Bronco on Arbutus Avenue close to the Myers Lake bike trail on the 13th of July. So that's another similarity. They both disappeared on the 13th of a month. That was another one another article that I saw was talking about. So that was the 13th of July, and they weren't found. It wasn't like the Delphi case where they were found the next day or anything. So they were walking. Some hunters were walking in December, and they stumbled across 2 sets of human remains. The remains were in a location so remote that someone walking even a few feet away would likely have never seen them. So they confirmed it was those 2 by, DNA and all that. And anyway. So wait. 6 months later, another troubling case began to play out in the state of Iowa. I never heard of this. Hold on. May 20th, 2013, 15-year-old Caitlin Shepard was walking home from school with her 12-year-old friend, Desi Hughes, in the town of Dayton. That's in Iowa, apparently. The girls were abducted by a man who lured them into his vehicle by offering to pay them for mowing lawns. Instead, he drove them to a pig farm where he was employed and zip-tied their hands, then led Caitlin Shepard away from the truck. Desi was left unsupervised. She managed to break free and went off to get help. Police arrived at the scene to discover the abductor's truck was still there and his body was inside the vehicle. He had taken his own life. The abductor was later identified as Michael Klunder, a registered sex offender from Stratford, Iowa. Caitlin's body was eventually found. Oh, man, he killed her? What a jerk. 20 miles downriver from the pig farm where she had been stabbed and beaten to death. Initially, the public suspected a connection between the Dayton and Evansdale cases. The hope was that there would finally be some closure in Evansdale with Michael Klunder's death. However, the Evansdale police do not believe Klunder was in the area at the time and confidently ruled him out as a person of interest in the Cook and Collins case. Yeah, that's not the same kind of thing anyways. I mean, it kind of is, I guess, but he just leaves that one there, and, come on. Anyway, so here's the similarities that they have listed: adolescent white females, unaccompanied, remote location, wooded area or trail, dumped on land used for hunting, unrelated assailant, family members ruled out. So it wasn't anybody related to either one of them. So, yeah, crazy. So see how one comment can get me off on the trail. Thank you, Leah. Show better be careful. She's gonna come up. Yep. All right. You guys want to talk about her? Let's talk about her for a minute. Okay. I gotta watch what I'm saying tonight because I've been in communication with somebody that I've known for a while. Thanks, man. But so the DA want to do what? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Explain, and I'll answer that. Yeah, I know, huh? Exactly. Who's not happy? Yeah, she's not happy about the Chris talk. I tried to send, but I think she was gone already. I mean, people are gonna get mad if they want, but I was just speaking. I mean, I'm sorry if it offended anybody. Tried to give you a disclaimer before I started. So, I mean, not everybody's perfect. I'm certainly not, but we're also allowed to have opinions about things that happen. So, and nobody's immune from getting criticized. I'll tell you that. Sorry. Oh, I'm not sure what happened with Barry's Bond. Barry Bond sounds like Barry Bonds. The judge. What judge? Oh, okay. I think you're talking about the judge in this case. So, I mean the Barry case. Excuse me. So, I don't really know what's going on with this bond and all that. What I heard was that his ankle monitor wasn't working. So anyway, yeah. Let me answer this. 321 report Twitter account got blocked too, but my personal account didn't. So it probably will now if this is heard. But yeah. Yeah, it's really weird that he even got out on bond, first of all, but then his ankle monitor wasn't working. Plus, he was staying out at the Cushman's house, but I heard he was paying Shoshona's rent for her to stay somewhere, but he couldn't afford his own place. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it will get revoked. So, anyway, so let me go back to this for a minute, and also I'm going to talk about Barry in a few minutes, but I wanted to talk about Shoshona for a little bit. So let me go back to a few months ago. So I start hearing stuff about Barry having a girlfriend. So I started poking around and people are telling me stuff. Then I get a message from a friend of Shoshona's, and I'm not going to say this person's name. I went and talked to this person while I was in Salida at a park, and he just flat out told me, it's a guy now. He just flat out told me that, oh man, I think I got it that time. He just flat out told me that she lied to him and he thought that she was innocent. I took his word for it. So I was kind of like, no, they're not together, whatever. And I also got asked by somebody that I respect to kind of leave that alone for a while. So I did. But now that she's all out there, I'm going to talk about it because I didn't want to disturb the case. So I'm not sure what I've been talking to a person. Okay, I'm going to tiptoe around this because this person is kind of hesitant. I invited this person to come on the show. She couldn't because she had to go do some things, legal things. and it wasn't in her best interest to do it right now. So I'm gonna go. I want to be really, really careful what I say, but I'm gonna also want to talk about this. So when I went out to Salida to go to Suzanne's um, birthday celebration back in April, May, right before Barry got arrested. So I just get to Salida. I have a rental car. Um, I'm driving down the main road, and I see a bobcat place that rents bobcats. So I'm always doing goofy stuff. So I get out and I start taking selfies with the bobcat in the background and all that stuff, just being goofy. Well, I get back in the car and I start driving down the road, and all of a sudden, somebody is honking at me and trying to get me to pull over. And I've talked about this before. I just haven't gone into detail about it. Thank you, Helen girl. Appreciate it. Yeah, I need to get one of those guns that shoot salt. You're right. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. So anyway, I'm driving down the road. Person's flagging me down. I get kind of nervous because I'm in this place. Nobody's supposed to know me that I'm there, because it's not. Barry wasn't arrested at this time. All these other people, that are his supporters or whatever. I don't want them to know that I'm in town. So anyway, I pull over, and it's a nice lady that knows who I am. And she says stuff like, I was hoping I would run into you someday. I just knew I would someday get the chance to talk to you. And I'm still like, okay, I have no idea who this lady is. But she seemed nice, and she was. I've been talking to her since then, off and on, about the case and stuff. So anyway, what ended up happening was, see, I don't want to know. I don't want to get too much into this because she's got some stuff going on. I'll just say this: she is the one that is getting a restraining order against Shoshona because she's been being harassed. She used to live a couple doors down from Shoshona, and I hope that I'm not overstepping anything because I don't want to put her in any more danger. But we had a long talk yesterday, and I tried to talk to her about coming on and how. How it will give her power back. When all the negativity came out about me when me and Tyson were working together, I was seeing my therapist, Linda, back then, and she said, just face that stuff head on, get out there, tell your story, and face it, and then you have the power. Nobody else can tell your story better than you can. So that's what I told her. I said, you got all the reason I was telling her this because I saw something on social media recently where her name came out, and it was, I was worried for her because, she's a great person, and she has kids that she takes care of. So she's scared. She's got good reason to be. I'll tell you that because she's had people follow her. She's had people do certain things. But hopefully, when all this restraining order stuff is done, she'll come on here and talk about this. She's got a lot to say. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully hopefully she don't think I've said too much tonight because I told her, and I'm being really careful what I say because there's a lot that she talked about to me, and yeah. So anyway, I just wish her the best, and hopefully Barry gets put back in jail because it worries her a lot that he's not. But yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for right now. But yeah, so hopefully I didn't say too much because I don't want her to worry any more than she already is. So, all right. So you guys can start asking questions if you want. I'm gonna I was just going to talk a little bit about some more stuff about Barry's um, arrest thing. But if you guys would rather talk about something else, go ahead and post a comment here. You know, it's funny how, to me, it's funny how much Barry. I was looking at some stuff today, and Barry's like the man of many faces. It's funny how he's changed so much. Um, um, she is not. I don't know if she's mad at her. Um, I can't really talk about it. I wish I could. I really do, but I don't think it's the fact that I think that's because Shoshona told her stuff and she's trying to intimidate her to not tell anybody. I think that's what it is. So Trevor Noel or Noel, however you want to say that. I did see that Tyson asked where he is. I will give my opinions on Mr. Noel. Um, this is what I think about Trevor. This has been my theory all along, and really, it was surprising to me that he wasn't in the affidavit. I'm sure he's in the discovery, but he wasn't in the affidavit at all, which was odd. But what I think happened with Trevor, I think he came out wanting to help Barry. I think he's always looked up to Barry. I've said this before, so it's probably going to be a repeat for a lot of you. I think he wanted to support Barry because he's always looked up to him as his uncle and a good role model. He made a lot of money, and Trevor, you can tell he's into that too, the way he travels around and the pictures he takes about all that stuff. So I think he looked up to him for a lot of reasons. But I think that once when Suzanne went missing, Trevor was trying to help and be there for his uncle and for his aunt. So he was really vocal at first. He starts talking about, oh yeah, well, help my aunt. She's the sweetest thing. And I think a few days after he was so public, he found out the truth. He found out, or he figured it out, or Barry told him or something. Hey, you need to be quiet because I think something happened, and he got super scared, and he was probably worried about he was going to get in trouble or whatever. So he just went stone cold quiet, and that's what I think happened. I don't think you're going to hear much from him at all. I don't think that. I think he's going to lay low. I mean, if he was still supporting Barry or whatever, wouldn't he be at the courts? I mean, come on. I think I saw Cassidy in there. I remember they said when Barry was released that he couldn't have any contact with Cassidy Cordova and a bunch of other people. Okay. Barry shut Trevor up and dipped. Yeah. True that. Yep, he was. Yep. And I could tell you, I mean, I put a timeline together and I could tell you the exact day. I don't have it memorized, but I could tell you because I put it together. I mean, not only him, but you can see when every member of his family found out, except the girls. I didn't see any of their social media, but all the members of his family, Barry's sisters, Barry's nieces and nephews, um, all of them, you could see they were all fine, help find Suzanne, help find Suzanne. And all of a sudden, boop, they stopped all that. There was no more. And it just stopped like all around the first part of June. Like it was about 3 weeks. Right after Tyson's interviews when it not saying that had anything to do with it. It might have. They might have saw how much of a liar he was on video. Okay, let me back up on the comments. Who's Lori? Oh, Lori Vallow. We can talk about her, but I haven't been paying attention to what's going on with her. Let me look it up. Lori Vallow Psycho. Oh, sorry. That was a different person. Daughter spoke to police about stepdad's death before disappearing. Woo! I didn't hear this. All right. Thanks for showing me. All right. Let's look at this. Sorry. Been working. A newly released video shows the slain 17-year-old daughter of doomsday prepper Lori Vallow talked to police about the shooting death of her stepfather, Tylee Ryan, who police say Vallow and her husband, Chad Daybell, killed as a part of an apocalyptic conspiracy, was interviewed by police in Chandler, Arizona 2 months before she and her brother, J.J. Vallow, disappeared. That was only 2 months apart? See, that timeline's so screwed up. I didn't realize that. In the July 2019 interview, which was among a trove of investigative materials released to Insider and other news outlets this week, Ryan fidgets and plays with her bare feet as she talks about how Charles Vallow was shot and killed in what she described as an argument. Police would learn months later through text messages and interviews that Lori Vallow plotted to kill her husband because she believed he was possessed by a demon, according to a probable cause affidavit provided to Insider. Vallow was indicted for the killing in July after both her children and Daybell's ex-wife were found dead. These people are crazy. In Ryan's telling, she awoke on July 11, 2019, to an argument between Charles Vallow, her mother, and her uncle Alex Cox. She told police that she grabbed a bat from her room so she could feel safe with something in her hands. She then ordered Vallow, who looked angrier than she had ever seen him, to back away from her mother. Obviously, I didn't hit him or anything with the bat, Ryan said in the interview. It was kind of just for security, I guess, to know that I had it. Vallow then took the bat from Ryan, she said, and Cox pulled him backwards, prompting her and her 7-year-old brother to flee the house. I ran out the door and sort of just stood there with my little brother, Ryan said. Ryan told police she heard a loud noise, which she thought sounded like a baseball bat being swung against the floor. When her mother came out of the house, Ryan said she told the kids to get in the car, and they went to Burger King. She's nuts, man. Cox, who is Lori Vallow's brother, later told police that he shot Charles Vallow when he refused to drop the bat. Police initially considered the shooting an act of self-defense, but Lori Vallow has since been charged with conspiring with Cox to kill her then husband. Well, duh. Everybody freaking knew that. You know what? It still gets to me how the police were ignoring Charles Vallow and trying to make him sound crazy or whatever. They weren't listening to him. And that's what happens when you don't listen to people. I don't know if they just didn't listen because he's a guy and he's worried about his wife, and most guys in that situation are lying. But you can't judge every person by that. I mean, look what happens. He was scared, and look what happens. I hope that's what you guys were talking about. The romance. What the heck is going on? Discovery may have led to murder in Daybell case. What's going on, guys? There's all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have to search this and do it next time. Detectives suspect Charles Vallow discovery of his wife Lori's affair with Chad Daybell led to his murder. There's a lot of stuff, guys. On Wednesday, the Chandler Police Department released its entire investigation. All right. I didn't know this. Dang it. Albeit redacted in the death of Charles Vallow. 1,100 pages of police reports, dozen interviews, body cam footage. Did you think that Chad and Lori had done something to Tammy? Detectives asked Zulema Pastinez. Remember that video? I always thought this was kind of ingenious of Tyson. So he goes outside of Zulima's house and wants to talk to her, and she calls the police. So the police go in her house and they get body cam footage. So Tyson requests it, and then we could put it on our show. That was pretty ingenious. All right. And what did Zulima say? Okay, here's what Zulima said. So detectives were already investigating the death of Charles Vallow, Lori Vallow's husband, but it wasn't until Tammy Daybell's body was exhumed in December of the same year that Pastinas told detectives she also became suspicious. Well, did you? Didn't, wait a minute. So she was exhumed. Didn't Alex die like the next day? So she gets suspicious, and then her husband ends up dead. Coincidence? Lori and Chad had called that the day Tammy's body was exhumed day, and they were the ones that told us they were exhuming her body, Pastinas said to detectives. Pastinas married Alex Cox in November of 2019. Alex Cox is Lori Vallow's brother. Shortly before Tammy Daybell's untimely death, Zulima told detectives Chad Daybell had a vision that Tammy Daybell would die. Tammy was supposed to die on her trip to Utah. She was supposed to. He had seen it in a vision that she was going to die in a car accident on the way there or something like that, Pastinas told detectives. But when Tammy didn't die as predicted, Chad then claimed Tammy had become a zombie. Oh, of course. Of course. Oh, she didn't die? Well, she's a zombie. Well, you know what? Zombies are dead. Dude. God, these people are out of their minds. Okay. This Pastinas also told detectives she questioned Alec Cox about his involvement in the death of Tammy Daybell. In the back of my mind, here I am thinking, okay, they said the same thing about Charles, right? And then Charles ended up being shot, Pastinas said. I'm thinking, okay, you guys aren't trying to say you are going to do something physically to people who are turning into zombies, according to them. Pastinas told detectives Alex Cox denied being involved in Tammy Daybell's death. When Pastinas pressed him for more, she said he responded, I think I'm being their fall guy. When Pastinas pressed him again, she told detectives Alex Cox said, either I am a man of God or I am not. You are not. Pastinas felt the answer meant they were telling him to do certain things, and he, in his mind, was either following what God was telling me or I am not. Whoa, they're a bunch of psychos. All right. I don't know. I'm going to go over all this stuff, and we'll talk about it next time because obviously there's a lot of stuff out there I had no idea was out there. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm Rusty Dusty. You know, it's funny. My dad's name is Rusty, and I got called that a lot during my life. Is it true BM was questioned by the police in Delphi about the two girls murdered there? BM has many faces, but his walk hasn't changed. I don't know if they questioned him. I know I did there for a while. I just don't know if, I don't know. That was like a theory I had for a while, but it just seems so far-fetched, you know? Yeah, I think that was Trevor that said that. Trevor and George, they were the ones, I believe. One of them was related to Barry and one of them wasn't. So that's what everybody assumed. That would be cool. And I would have to take back a lot of stuff I said about him. Yep. I wanted to puke then too. You know what I wanted to puke? The reason? One, because Barry got released. Two, because Barry was smiling so much when he got released. Three, Macy was smiling so much. And four, is that four? Yeah. Four, Mallory acted all annoyed by the reporters and all that, those people. Well, woo, we're annoyed by you. Oh my gosh. Have you seen BL walking? His feet go sideways. Who's BL? BL. Maybe it was, yeah, who's BL? That's what I'm asking. That's funny. Other criminals. Yeah, that's true. I heard she was staying there, but let's talk about, yeah, yep. Been going on for a while. There's also some huge rocks in front of her house. Huge. I took pictures of them. Huge. Yeah, somebody said she looks more like uh, Lori Vallow, which I agree. She does look more like Lori Vallow in jail. That Lori Vallow. I'm gonna have to check those out and get back to you. Who's Judge Morphew? Judge Morphew and Barry Murphy. That's funny. I thought he was shot more than that. I thought he unloaded that clip on him, but who knows? What's Martin's question? Martin, is this your question? I thought you were just being funny. I don't know if anything connects them, but um, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I do need to catch up. I know. Hey, I'm the first to admit it. I've been working though, so there's only so much I can do when I'm out there. Um, I'm either driving or working or whatever. So, and I definitely agree with this. Me and Tyson went over this extensively, and I'm gonna have to repost some of these videos because he even did a he went and recreated the drive that Zulema would have had, and I remember editing it and putting the siren there for how long it would have taken the ambulance to get there and all that stuff. But yeah, all right. So I get it. I get it, guys. I'm behind on this. Okay, sorry. East Idaho News. All right, I'll check that out. Looks like a woman. Um, I had a funny thought today because I saw somebody else posted that, but how do you get? I don't know if I want to say it, but some people when they go to prison, they get turned into the female, sort of. But he was in solitary, so he must have turned himself into one. So I don't know. I don't think he was on steroids. I think he was on those legal testosterone shots you get through those fountain of youth doctors. Yeah, maybe. He certainly looked all yoked up, though. I mean, he looked. When I took that, let me show you. I mean, I keep showing this, but here he is. There he is. Golly, he's red. Pretty buff, too. Look at him. Dang. He got toned up. He's on roids or something. Yeah, he looked way different than the last time I'd seen him. And I'd watched those videos with Tyson and other videos so much that I had a picture in my mind of what he looked like. And then when I saw him out there, I was like, my goodness, he looks way different. Even his face. I know when you lose some weight, your face thins out and you look different, but somebody on here said he got a facelift or something, which I wouldn't doubt. Brian Laundrie. Where the heck is that guy? So I just want to know, like, where is he hiding? I mean, good grief. There's some people that try to hide and they find them like within hours or whatever, but my goodness, that guy, yeah. So, I'll tell you something about Brian Laundrie. I got a bad vibe off that guy when I saw that body cam footage. He just looked awkward, very, very awkward, talking to those cops. Um, I've seen people like that before. I don't know if they're trying to hide stuff or, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how much to say about him. He's good at hide and seek, I'll tell you that. I thought everyone would be taking photos of BM, Barry Morphy. That always gets me. I don't know. I've got that third grade mentality, but yeah, when he was released, well, he's at a house out in Maysville, and I don't know if he can he go anywhere. I don't think you're supposed to go. I mean, if he was smart, he would have went like in town somewhere or something, Like, so I don't know. He goes out there, and I think I know why. I think he was trying to keep an eye on that place out there. Why was Shoshona going over there? I know I'm posting funny videos about her getting that package, but that was a real question I had. What the heck was in that package, And why would she risk all that to go over there? I mean, I know why, because Barry told her to. But I heard she was staying at the Cushmans with him. So, I don't know. I still think Suzanne's as close to that place. And that's why he's out there. I mean, even when he wasn't living out there, he was going out there. Oh, by the way, Janae, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. And Helen girl, thanks again. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you though. Yeah, he looks weird, doesn't he? And back, I wish I could find those photos, but let me see if I can track them down while I'm jabbering. But back when there was photos of when Sheila came to visit Suzanne and they were all out to dinner and stuff. You guys remember those? Barry looked weird then. He looked like he had had a facelift then. Like he looked strange. I couldn't put my finger on it. Like why? Let me see if I can dig those up real quick. But yeah, he looks super weird. See if I can grab those. And I was like, something's off. And I couldn't put my finger on it. But then I think, okay, I think it's what it was his face didn't look right. Like he was got a nip or a tuck or you know who it reminded me of? What's his face? What's her face now? Caitlyn Jenner, aka Bruce. That's what it reminded me of. His face, her face, whatever. Ishi's face. Okay, I'm gonna try to track those. I got this stuff. Hold on. Where is it? I know it's in here. It's gotta be. Don't let me down. Dang it. Some of these photos are cracking me up. Some of the stuff I used to do. I miss doing that stuff. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of it. It was like that. Those videos. Some lip sync videos. I don't see them. Okay, but there is something I wanted to ask. Maybe you guys know, maybe you don't. Okay, let me see if I can put this up here. This is kind of like a show that's just going in all kinds of directions, but that's how my mind works, so might as well just roll with it, I just keep thinking of I'm gonna have to load this one. That video I post that I recorded of Barry when he wasn't moving. I was like, I think Barry passed away. uh, Sometimes I just crack myself up. Nobody else. Okay, I'm looking for a certain thing, and I'll let you know when I find it. Oh my goodness, there's some funny stuff in here. So, what I was saying earlier, I gotta look for a different place here. All my stuff's in weird places. I know I used to do this all the time. Then I got organized, and now it's like back to where I don't know where anything is. Do do do. Oh, you know what I wanted to play? I wanted to play this one. Hold on, let me see if it's the right one first. Man, I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. Be patient with me. I just pulled into the house about, I don't know, 30 minutes before I got on the air. Okay. There it is. Okay, now I got to see if it's the right one before I go posting it. Hold on.
He said that he was riding his bike on the same trail.
That's not the right one. Okay, one guy I was going to talk about today was so you know how I talked about this guy a while back. I'm glad I remembered this. Okay, forget about that other stuff for now. But so now that Shoshona's out there and everything, she has an ex named Francis Bach. And the reason I bring up Francis Bach, I tried calling him, by the way. He didn't want to talk to me, which is whatever. I don't care. A lot of people don't want to talk to me. So, but he was on a television interview back when Suzanne first went missing. And when I think that him and Shoshona were still together. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. Tell me if you can hear it, okay? If you can't hear it, let me know. So I'm going to see what I can do here about making. Can you hear that? Could you guys hear that? No? Dang it. All right. So anyway, this, let me see if I got captions on it. Oh yeah, okay. Let me back it up because there's caption. You guys are just gonna have to read it. Okay. All right. So let me tell you why this is relevant. Francis Bach and Shoshona were dating at one point. So the guy on the bike is Francis Bach. Shoshona's ex. I don't know if it was her ex at this time or if they were still together at this time. But he says he just happened to be there riding his mountain bike. He lives out there in Maysville. I know where he lives. So he just happened to be riding his bike on Mother's Day. Same place Suzanne was riding. He didn't see Suzanne, but he saw a suspicious car out there. Says he reported it, blah, blah, blah. I will share the link here. Let me get it to you. It took me forever to find this thing again. I thought I had it downloaded, so I will post it right here. You guys can go watch it. But this guy's rubbing me. I don't trust this dude. Okay, there's more to this. Not only was he inserting himself into this case right here, and John Douglas says a lot of criminals will do that. They'll insert themselves in the case. Anyway, so another interesting fact, Shoshona's daughter stayed in a Airbnb right by the Morphe's house the night before Suzanne went missing. Is that a coincidence? And then this guy comes out and says this the next, a week later or whatever it was. He saw a suspicious car and reported it. I want to know if he really reported it or if he was lying about that. Yep. He does. I know. I can show you on a map where this dude lives. I mean, you saw him walking out of his house. It'd be easy to find it, right? Because I did. So, what do you think happened? And why is she so active right now? Man, I want to tell you guys some stuff. Need to talk to my friend. There's a lot more to connecting all this stuff, and I wish I could talk about it. But my friend, Shoshona's ex-neighbor, she doesn't want to do anything to jeopardize this case, which I totally understand. And she also doesn't want to do anything to put herself and her boys in danger. She also doesn't want to do anything to mess up this restraining order she's trying to get. Because I've seen pictures, there's been some stalking going on and different stuff, and that's messed up. There's a lot. I mean, I'll tell you, when I was out in Salida, we went on a little tour. I was in my vehicle. She was in her vehicle. We were on the phone. She was showing me all these places, all these things, telling me these stories, and you wouldn't believe the stuff that went on. And I wish I could share it right now. I just can't. And I will someday. And hopefully she will, because she's got an open invitation to come on this show and talk about it. And I hope I'm not overstepping anything. Like I said, I'm just so anxious to, yeah, I got you. Yeah. Good advice. Yeah. I agree with this. You think, oh, well, he can't do nothing because he's, got an ankle monitor. The thing wasn't even working. I mean, he could have went anywhere. Yep. I agree. Let's just stop. Yes. You hit it. You're hitting it. Yes, they have. I mean, okay. And I don't have a whole lot of faith in law enforcement in a lot of areas because like stuff like Charles Vallow and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay. There's some really, really good agents and officers and stuff working on Barry's case because I've spoken to them and I'm not like I'm not name dropping or anything like that. I'm being real and yeah. So and they're really good and you could tell by reading the affidavit. All right. Yes, well, I don't know about harassing them, but freaking them out. I'll tell you that. Okay, I saw something up here. I'm going to go back. Yeah, for sure. Friends in high places. Yeah. Yeah. Martin, man, you know what I did, Martin? Martin sent me this spreadsheet a few months back before the affidavit came out, way before. And he was asking questions. And I mean, Martin's spot on all the time. He was asking questions, and like who, right next to it's like, who can answer this question? So I went through it recently, Martin, like a few days ago, and I started filling it. Go back and look. I don't know if you can still see the one I have, but go back and look. I started filling in, like, because the affidavit answers a lot of your questions, and it's filled. I mean, I'm sure you've done this. I'm preaching to the choir here, so. Yeah. 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 They both said that. I didn't say. Yeah, it's not her ex-husband, ex-boyfriend. Ugh. All right. So anyway, This is what I'm going to do. This is the stuff AK alludes to that he says could derail the case and change it a lot. I don't think it would derail it. I think it would show conspiracies. Maybe put a lot of other people behind bars that need to be. Yep. I think they might have put new cameras in or just went over there and plugged them in when somebody else went and unplugged them. Because of what is on that property or who. That's what I think. That's my theory. You remember whenever I was out there the first time, October of 2020, I went out to, I don't know if y'all remember this, but um, I went out there and flew my drone over his house. First, I flew it from a different area, and then that's when the Ritters confronted me and asked me or told me I was on private property, which I wasn't. I mean, if I was, they could have got me arrested, I guess, but I wasn't. I stayed over there. So anyway, I went to a different area and I checked Barry's to see if Barry was at his house. He wasn't. So I went to fly the drone, and then this was when he already lived at Poncha Springs. So it wasn't really his place. I mean, it was, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so I go and I fly it. I get back to my hotel room that night and I see that Barry's at the house. He's between the time I drove around, he was there. So he was there a lot. I mean, what was he doing? You know what I think? I think there's trail cams all out there. I think that he sees everything that goes on, who comes and who goes. I think that's why I think there's some over at Foose's Reservoir, because when certain people go over there, it just seems like people come out of the woods, like, what are you doing here? Or intimidating them to leave or whatever. So, yeah. I'm not sure that's even putting your neck out there. The actions I've heard of, I mean, Why would you do it if you're not involved? There's no reason why she would act the way she does if she didn't have some reason to be fearing. Uh, I just want to take a minute to thank my mods. They're doing a great job. They're keeping me out of trouble. They're telling me not to say too much, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not sure that's where they met, but we can say that, I guess. Hey, look, I didn't even see this, Nancy. But yeah, you're right there with me. Um, I think that when you put trail cams up, you have an app and you can monitor them on your phone. I mean, how are the new owners even going to know that he's doing that? But yeah, you can. Those things will go for years. I mean, I don't know if some of them are solar powered or whatever, but let me see. Solar powered. I know their batteries last forever. Trail cams. Solar trail camera. Yeah. I mean, those things last forever. And they're not very expensive either. I mean, comparatively speaking. I mean, there's one at Cabela's for $69, you know? I mean, come on. He's probably got 1,000 of them out there. All right. Where's Teresa Fountain? I didn't see her. Oh, there you are, Teresa. Hi, everyone. Just saying hello. Not able to chat. I had chemo treatment today. Just listening in, just sleep. I hope you're doing okay. I think she's by the river on his property. He's obsessed with that property, not normal. Amen. Yep. And I mean, that river, it's right there. Like, I mean, you walk out the back door and you could you could just lob a rock like that and it's in the river. It's that close. Yeah. I mean, I never heard of it. Have you? Like a murderer getting bond and a $500,000 bond? I mean, come on. He knew he could get that. He sold the house for 3 times that much. So let me tell you something. Um, I'm not sure. I think that what they're doing is they're hoping he'll just tell them, so they don't have to do all that. But when I first got contacted by CBI, they were wanting some videos, and so I understood that, and of course, I was going to help. But I told the agent that I was talking to that called me, and I said, I'm stepping away from YouTube for a while. And he said, why are you doing that? It's just getting started. And I thought that was weird because I looked at it as, okay, Barry's in jail now, so we can finally relax. But that's not how they're looking at it. So I don't think that. I think they're still trying to figure out where she is. If you walked out there and just saw the vastness of that place. When I first stepped out there, when I went there the first time, I was like, the first thought I had when I stepped out of the vehicle was, how in the world are they ever going to find her? Hey, brother, what's up? Still want to meet you in person one of these days, bro. All right, so no, I didn't know that. They took your computer. Wait a minute, I don't know who you are, Patty and Pink. Patty and Pink. Why'd they take your? All right, for Tyson's video. I don't know why they did that because I gave them that video. I gave them all the videos, every one we had, even the ones we didn't post. So they got it all. There's yeah, there is one part of a video of Tyson's video. That's what I was looking for earlier. Let me go back to that. There is a vehicle following him around. It's not Shirley in that truck because that's who ultimately comes up, but it's a different one. And I've asked this question for a long, long time, and I want to finally put it out there to see if somebody knows whose it is. Because, I mean, maybe I put it out there before. Let me track it down. Do you guys remember? Here's some screenshots. Do you guys remember this? Let me see. Maybe I could just drag it over there. Oh yeah. No? Is that working? No. All right, whatever. 321 report. What is that in? 321 report. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I wanted to find something. Screenshots from videos. Where are they? What? Oh, you know why? Ah, dang it. I remember. For some reason, I can't upload videos on here because I don't have the premium package yet. So I'm going to share this instead. So here are some interesting. Tell me if you remember these. Share. Okay, now let's do this again. Share screen. Window. You guys remember when Tyson found this? That looks like Barry's handwriting. You remember how he wrote that thing out? This was out in the woods. It had food and stuff in it. And then this was always interesting to me. Let me see. Share. This is annoying. I need to get that other thing back. So, you remember this? What I always thought it was interesting about this, okay, first of all, why is this Bobcat off of that trailer right there? What was he doing with it? And then look at all that dirt and stuff. Where'd that come from? Then the police tapes tied to the Bobcat. So I was always asking the question, okay, does that mean it's part of they want to cordon that off, make sure people look at it? That's got that brand new scoop on it that we were talking about. I think it was last time. It had the footprints in it. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and maybe I got another photo. But I'm looking for that one specific photo. It was that truck that was in the background, and I'm trying to find that real quick. I just saw it like the other day, but now I don't know where it's at. But it was a screenshot. You know what else I got? I didn't show you guys these before, but when I drove by Barry's house that Sunday when I took his when I was videotaping him outside his house, there was Mallory was walking out to her car and Barry was walking in the front door, and yeah, that was pretty interesting. I don't know if I still have those pictures though. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, but just trying to find that one video. I want to put it out there so you guys can help me find out whose vehicle that is. I keep scrolling through stuff looking for something, and then I see other stuff that's Pretty interesting. All right. I have no idea what this is. Mm, sorry, guys. I'm just got dead air here trying to find this stuff. I didn't know I was going to need this, or I would have had it ready to go. But this might be it. Okay, I think it is. All right. Okay, here it is. All right. So I'm going to show this. So this is a Toyota, it looks like. So I'm going to share it. I want you guys to. This thing was following Barry around in this video, and I haven't been able to figure out who it is yet. That's not his truck, and that's not Shirley. It's that truck right there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah. Can't. Yeah, it's a Toyota Tundra. It's got a Colorado license plate on it. There ain't no way to make out what it says, though. Anybody know whose that is? Let me know. Because I've been trying to figure that out for a while. Also, if you know whose vehicle this is, it was there the day that Tyson spotted Barry coming out all wet and all that stuff. I thought it was the same one as that, but it doesn't look like it. That's a Subaru. So is that, but I don't think they're the same. They do have bikes on them and stuff, so maybe it is. This is Barry at the fire station or whatever, and that's out there. It was parked right by his vehicle. So I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, hoping something will jog somebody's memories or something. All right. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. And I'm going to go over that stuff before the next time I come on live. I'm going to go over that Valo stuff, and I'm going to see what I can do to figure that out. Sorry, I just saw a picture of Shirley that I photoshopped into something. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to do that. Be more prepared about that. I had no idea though. So, but let me look at the comments real quick, make sure I didn't miss something. Golly, 51 since I last been on here. So she got in a, I do. She was driving like a Toyota little thing, I think. She got in a car accident recently, I think. That's what she was saying. Hurt her neck. So I don't know what she drives now. All right, I'm going to go through these real quick, then I got to bounce. Keep it up. Keep it up. Well, I gave them the original straight out the camera. So, I mean, that's the one they got from me. I'm not sure which one that you're talking about. Yeah, that's why I said something. What I saw on, I did see a clip when somebody asked me if I saw something. There's a clip from Linda when he was talking about AD. That's what he kept saying. I thought he meant AK, but somebody said there was a guy named AD, armchair detective, or anything. But Yeah, he was being super cocky that day, and I was like, man, this guy's going to get humbled in some way, and looks like that's exactly what happened. But what does a hunter do? He hunts, he tracks, he kills. Where is hunter most comfortable on his own property? Yep, especially the kind of hunter that tranquilizes deer to capture them and to put them on their own land so they can shoot them later. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sarah. Right on. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted your computer. Nah, I don't know. Right on, man. We're trying to keep it that way. Hidden in plain sight. I bet there's several people with cameras out there. Yep. May 26th. I'm not sure what that's about. Yep. 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 It's not really significant except the writing on it looked kind of like what Barry wrote um, about Suzanne, the description of Suzanne, but he actually described a helmet and all that instead of her. So nobody ever talks about Barry's red tractor with no telecommunications. I didn't even know he had a tractor, so that's why I don't talk about it. Yeah, I didn't know that. The jockey whale was broken on the trailer. Oh, okay. Oh, I remember seeing the bucket, red tractor, orange buckets. Where? So glad you. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, in the affidavit it said there was barefoot prints in the bucket. I'm thinking that's what I read. I'll have to look at it again, but yeah, barefoot prints in the bucket. One of the people that were searching came in and told the other officers that. So I don't think names of people on the channel were respectful. No, I'm not sure what that's talking about. I'm sorry, spaghetti. No, I'm not sure what you mean. I'm missing stuff, so whatever. No, I don't think that's hers because yeah, I have it on video. She was parked at Suzanne's thing, and hers is that was more of a blue one that I just showed. Hers is kind of a grayish. Um, Toyota something or another. I don't remember exactly what it is. I could find out though. I mean, maybe. Uh, maybe, maybe not. Uh, I don't know. That's something I'll have to look into, but I know what it looks like, and that's I thought that at first, but that didn't look like what I remember. So, all right, I think I'm getting to the end of these, so I'm gonna have to. Yeah, CM. Who's CM? Oh, Chris McDonough did nothing wrong. Oh, okay. Well, you can say that. I mean, but wasn't he accusing somebody of being Brian Laundrie that wasn't and doxing stuff? Okay. You can say that if you want. I mean, that's fine. Um, but just because he's doing that doesn't get Chris kicked off. That's a lot of power if you can get people kicked off of YouTube for nothing. I mean, I don't know how that happens. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree there, Charlie Hammond. I'm not sure. I'm not bad mouthing him or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you got to be careful. Obviously, I mean, thank you so much, CD. Is that in Bitcoin? Yeah, thank you very much. Dusty, glad to see you back in action. In life, you deserve to do what you care about. Keep up the content. Thank you. All right, guys. Nah, no drama. I'm not trying to, like, I'm retired LE also. Would never do that to a person without confirming 100%. Yeah, I mean, you can't. I know, it's not cool, man. I mean, I know he was probably making some good money, and I'm sure he gets, you know, worked up and gets all excited and all this stuff. But you got to be careful, man. Obviously, look what happens if you don't. I mean, I don't think that's something you come back from. And he had like 86,000 followers or something. That's a ton, man. You could be making some good bank doing that. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, saying he did nothing wrong is kind of a stretch, Like, I mean, he had to do something wrong. So, anyway, all right. I got to go, guys. I've been on here almost 2 hours, and I got to go see my family. I miss them. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for the updates on everything, especially the Valo stuff. Adios.